Start the audio here. Welcome to the Board of Assessors meeting of April 2nd, 2025. Being held here at the Ritter Building. In accordance with the requirements of the open meeting law, please be advised that this meeting is being recorded, not broadcast live, but it will be over the Lunenburg Public Access channel on Facebook Live on the Public Access Facebook page. https://www.facebook.com/lunenburg-cable-157-427-270-975-305/. The recording can be found at the Lunenburg Access YouTube channel after the meeting, most likely tomorrow. The meeting will be held in person at this location, which is the Ritter Building downstairs. Members of the public are welcome to attend this in-person meeting. Please note that while an option for remote attendance and/or participation is being provided as a courtesy to the public, the meeting will not be suspended nor terminated if technological problems interrupt the virtual broadcast unless otherwise required by law. Members of the public with a particular interest in a specific item on this agenda should make plans for in-person versus virtual meeting attendance accordingly. Yeah, but stop doing that in front of the mic.
Oh, okay.
Thank you anyway. For remote participation from a computer, please use the link I will read to you to join the public meeting webinar. It's a Zoom meeting, https://web.j.zoom.us/j/811-520-02194. And I'll find the second one here. This is the one I use, so don't go anywhere else. The meeting ID is 811-5200-2194. From a telephone, dial the number 888-475-4499 and enter this webinar ID I just mentioned, 811-5200-2194 #. If you're not registered for Zoom, you'll be asked for your name and an email address. Note, no participant ID is needed. Just press the # when asked. Telephone users may dial *9 to request to speak after joining the meeting. Computer and app users may use the raise hand feature. The agenda lists all topics which may be discussed at the meeting and are those reasonably anticipated by the chair. Votes may be taken as a result of these discussions. Not all items may in fact be discussed. And other items not listed may also be brought up for discussion to the extent permitted by the open meeting law. Additionally, please be advised that the town utilizes the Zoom platform as a host for its hybrid and remote meetings, and that the Zoom platform utilizes AI technology known as AI Companion to create audio transcriptions of meetings to aid in the subsequent preparation of meeting minutes, and that AI Companion is activated immediately upon launching the Zoom application. You are hereby notified that this AI technology may capture audio prior to the start of the meeting and/or following the conclusion of the meeting. We indeed are using AI Companion. I'll call the meeting to order. It's 6:45. Are there any opening comments from the board?
Apologies for getting us started late. Linda and I were at our main meeting with 2 other members. We just got carried away.
Somebody was talkie?
Not me. Not me.
I don't see anybody on board from the public, so I will assume there are no comments from the public. Status report from the principal assessor.
We have almost all of our abatement applications done. We had a total of 37. We have 4 that we have either received no response from. We're waiting on callbacks for additional information. The next meeting, we will address those in an executive session. And that will be the end of our abatement applications.
May I bother either of you for a pencil or a pen? Always bring one. Usually they're dead.
Oh,
I don't know if
we got-
it died, but it looks like it's starting to die, be careful.
Thank you.
um,
Sorry. It'll be good to get the abatements wrapped up.
Yeah.
You're talking about real estate abatements.
Real estate and personal property, yes, we will have those done. And as far as with CAI, we did receive some updated maps from them. I'm still waiting on the status. We had some parcels that weren't linking, so I think that's been resolved, but I haven't got the confirmation yet of that. Yeah, so.
We don't know it's fixed till we check that it's
Till
fixed.
Yeah.
I haven't heard otherwise and haven't received any other complaints.
Okay.
And we still continue to have deeds that come in that we are unable to interpret. So we did start sending out letters to the homeowners asking for clarification with the newly approved deed letter for clarification. And that's pretty much it. I'll talk about the cyclical program and how that's going when we get further along in the agenda.
If I can ask, did you receive a note from a resident with regard to the notification that they had received, that they were getting inspected, and they came back and noted that their driveway had been flooded as a result of the town, and they wanted a new review, and they wanted us to go down, take a look, and come back and make amends for this? Did you receive that?
Sounds familiar
I
to me.
think, yes, I believe we did receive
Okay.
that. I actually need to write back to that woman. We wouldn't have anything
Who
to
said
do
it
with
was a
that.
woman?
What's that?
Who said it was a woman?
At one point
Oh.
you said she.
Did I say she?
Yeah,
I gave it away.
yeah.
Just a good detective here.
Yeah.
We have been getting a lot of calls from residents asking us not to
Yeah.
enter the property, and we have a list that we have maintained. I'm sure she would probably add it to the list.
No, she wasn't on, she wants to have, this is the one that
She-
had a flood after we had either looked at it or not looked at it. I think we had looked at it, but then she had a flood caused by the town, so she wanted to have it looked at again, I think. That sounds
That's
familiar.
Oh.
what it was, Brian.
Okay, so that would be something for,
Well, we'll do some research on that
Yeah.
one, between Linda and me, yes, between Linda and, it's not I. We'll take a look for that one.
Not too much.
yeah.
We'll take a look.
Well, which begs the other question, is if we do find things, does she have the right to come in based on that inspection, file for abatement?
No.
So she has to wait for the full term?
Yes.
Okay, I just asking.
Well, we can investigate whether there's any relief at all. We
Okay.
couldn't go through the normal abatement process, but we can check to see if there's any other relief possibility.
Okay.
And that's not a promise that there would be one, but there might be.
We always should be looking, see how we.
There's always the exception to the rule, right, which proves the rule?
Uh-huh. Okay, thank you. That was my question.
Okay. I have none, I had an opportunity to go through any minutes, so we're gonna hold off on reviewing minutes.
That was the 12th and the 19th, March 12th and February 19th.
March 12th to February 19th, and I believe we also finally received, not finally, sorry. I think we received March 19th as well, but
Okay.
we'll wait and see. There were at least two on the email that I got. so
Okay.
I have an executive session one,
We can look at the executive session, which date?
March 19th.
Okay,
So if you-
so take a look at it, is it have
Let's see.
anything that's site-specific? It does not.
No,
March 19th is one, what was the other one?
we've approved everything that was the last meeting.
For executive session? I'll double check the website, but I think we're pretty
Yeah.
up to date. Honestly, or not honestly, full disclosure, I sent over another set of minutes from one of the neighborhood sub-working group.
Oh, I saw that,
I
yeah.
put one of them up, and then I made sure that the
You said
agenda,
2 cents.
no, well,
Yeah.
there was a minutes that matched up with an agenda that had been posted, and then there was an agenda that never got posted to the website, but had been posted here at Town Hall.
Okay.
So those minutes are now, excuse me, that agenda is now out there, and I'll match up with the minutes that
Okay.
Sarah sent over for those.
Right.
So I think we'll be complete for minutes, except for maybe an executive session or two.
Okay, that's the.
And then the
big
most
ones.
recent ones we just haven't.
Is there any follow-up, another date, Sarah? Oh, Sarah's not here, Sarah here?
What do you mean, any more follow-ups to the
Follow-up
team?
to the meetings, team meetings.
She suspended the meetings.
Yeah, we're gonna be
Since we'll be
taking
doing it
that on.
in-house.
Yeah,
Okay.
actually, Rena was in the office today, and we did talk about that briefly.
Good.
As we mentioned, I think in an earlier meeting, we are gonna do most of the work in-house, but we're gonna hire out someone who has some expertise on town.
Perhaps that person that you just mentioned.
Yep.
Yep.
So,
I do recall that. I don't know what we were doing,
And
keeping
there
it
is-
together, team together, and she was bringing that team, or I don't know the mechanics.
there's money in the capital plan for next year
Yeah.
to continue that process, so.
Yeah,
I don't think there's anything anyone can change on here, do you wanna see it?
That was fine, right? Oh, yeah, we can change that.
So, I'll,
can you initial it?
uh, accept the motion to approve these minutes for release.
Second, or so moved. You
And I'll
moved it.
second, well, either one, it would,
Okay.
you moved it, I seconded, all in
Aye.
favor, aye, okay. Just, and we should date today is for,
Okay.
you can put your initials above the top of that if you like, or anywhere you like,
Yeah.
somewhere on the piece of paper. Perfect.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Perfect. Good. That's it for minutes. Do we have anything to review or approve for invoices, expense vouchers, billing errors, any other stuff?
No, nothing like that.
Cool. We're just zipping right along. BOA policies, you haven't brought a new document, so we had the other document to review. Did you get a chance to review it much, Jack?
No.
I
did
know
not either. He
Sarah's
was
not
traveling,
here.
and Sarah's not here, so let's hold
Yeah.
that one until next time as well.
This is this,
Yeah,
I put that together for Jen quickly, and I know we talked about policies at some point, so, yeah. Actually, that's my copy.
We're up to senior means testing exemption. Ready?
We met tonight, and Tom is actually gonna take the brochure and make it into a trifold. Yeah,
That was, oh, I love that.
yep, he's gonna do that. And we did actually make some changes to the application. And I did show him the application for Westford, he kinda liked the format of that, so I'm gonna send him that copy.
Okay.
And he's gonna put in some data there, so he said by the end of the month he would have
I
that.
have some amendments. We do them now?
Oh, I thought we were talking about the senior means
I'm
stuff.
I'm sorry, I got the wrong one. I don't have any amendments to that.
Okay, oh, good.
Perfect.
Okay.
Well, you
So,
have,
so I also wanted to let you know, I had sent out an email to Kathy requesting the number of residents that are 65 and older, just so that we could have an idea as to what the impact would be and how many possible applicants we would have. There's 2,826 residents that are over the age of 65,
so
65 and older, so,
they may not be homeowners, number
Right.
one.
yeah,
Number two, there may be two people, one home,
That's
Yep.
correct.
so we don't know the number of homeowners that might be potentially eligible.
That's
At least
exactly correct.
we can start to cut down
yeah,
the sample size.
Right. One of my assignments is to go to the senior center and see if we can't ferret out some of that data in terms of how many homes are owned by seniors. In some cases, the same, but maybe Deb's got something there, I
Yeah.
don't know.
I think they have some of that, I just don't know how much.
yeah. We did have some discussion based on the average sales price to utilize as a restriction. I had actually was using 504,000, which I had my classification hearing for last year.
540,
504.
504.
I used 504, but
504, okay.
But Vision had a median sale price, or assessed price of 540,000, which
That's
I
how
thought
you get-
might
that's
be,
how you get the
might be
numbers.
more current, I guess, to use. But Tom thought that maybe that was a little high, so I can go with the 504,000, which we utilized in the
So-
classification hearing as the,
We, the board, will be deciding on all the parameters around the numbers.
yeah,
That's correct.
yep,
I appreciate Tom's feedback, but it's a piece of feedback.
okay.
And Tom did say things like, look, you guys have got to solve.
He did say that, yeah.
Oh, I know, he recognizes who has the authority and responsibility for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But, and I appreciate the feedback, it's nothing but feedback. So-
yeah. So I just wanted to bring that up, because that may be
Uh,
something that we may want to discuss.
Yeah. There's
Some towns are much higher, right?
If you keep
Oh,
going,
yeah.
I've got two other points.
Some towns are much higher.
Much, much higher,
Right.
yes,
So it wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing to have it fairly high.
yeah. You had asked me earlier tonight, based on how many we would, roughly based upon, so what it's gonna be is, it'll be 1% of whatever the levy was.
Right, so we know what the levy was, right?
Yeah,
What was the levy?
it was 32 million last year, and depending upon what it is this year,
3,000 or so.
I had took last year's number, divided it by the maximum, which would be, of the circuit breaker, which would be 2730, and came up with a max of 117 residents.
So if we were to have 117 people apply and we gave them all the max,
Yeah,
that would hit our 1%.
yeah, which would be
That's
320,000
exactly what I was looking
estimated.
for.
Right, but no one anticipates we're gonna see that number coming out of.
Oh, gosh, no, I don't think
Yeah.
so either. So the likelihood, not the guarantee, the likelihood is that whoever applies will probably be getting the max.
Right. There were two other points, Linda, if you're not.
Yeah, but just that and, oh, you were talking about the federal,
Well, there were 2 points. Okay, they're asking for the federal tax and the state tax. And there are other stuff, all we require is a mass state tax. Is that asking for something redundant? And we need to figure out that, otherwise, don't send it to us, you don't need to do that.
yeah.
The other one is.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Say it again, please, I know.
Okay, the federal tax, they're asking for two tax forms, the state and the Fed.
Yep,
And we're not sure why they would really need the Fed. We'd like to see the state tax,
who's asking for it?
the application you've put.
Yeah,
together.
we actually copied the application. We took some
Community.
from Concord and Sudbury, but Concord and Sudbury both asked for federal and state income tax returns. Westford does not, so
They just asked for the state.
they just asked for the state only.
Yeah.
I don't know if that is.
Honestly, it's a reasonably really good question, and I'm not sure if there's any value in us getting the federal one.
I agree.
It doesn't affect, we had a home rule petition here,
Uh-huh.
and our home rule petition doesn't say anything about federal taxes at all.
Right, it's not.
So I think we don't, I'd be hard pressed to demand it. How's that?
Right.
Okay.
So if we want to take a vote on that or something, we can do that, but unless you guys just want to come back from the next meeting with your recommendation that says just state.
And just the state, the thing is, the state would also show whether or not they use the circuit breaker. And for that, or they would have to submit a separate circuit breaker. It would be nuts for them to not include the circuit breaker.
Yep.
And for that matter, not going back a
Oh,
couple
no,
of years. Yeah.
it's a requirement. Circuit breaker is a
Circuit
requirement.
breaker requirement,
So
yeah.
it wouldn't be nuts with them, it would be just rejected
It-
Yes.
offhand.
And the thing is, though, if they did put it in their taxes and they submitted it as a separate form, that would be the nuts part, because they would lose out on a potential $1,000 that they would get off because of the circuit breaker. So that was part
That's
one.
people's choices, if they want to
Yeah.
make that choice.
Let's try it out there. And then,
So-
there's the other question that they were asking is basically the ratio of ownership and that trust and things like that. And I know that we require that they have at least 50% ownership. And for that matter, and the bank can't have more than a 50%, that's the max. So why are we asking all these trust questions where there's nothing in there that says, we haven't, no one's taken a
If they
position?
only have 50% ownership, let's say they have
Yeah.
50% ownership, are we giving them the max, or are we giving them 50% of what they type?
I don't
And
know.
I don't know, we need to
Yeah,
investigate
well,
that.
that was the point.
That's
something we're gonna have to have.
another excellent question.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Oh, that's a rule. That's
He's been working on the 41A too long, that's why.
a rule. Yes, 41 is right, that's.
So if they only have a partial ownership of a parcel, what tax break are we offering them? We
I don't
don't
know,
know that.
and you wanna really blow their minds, what about renters? Because the renters count as well.
In Westford they do, but I don't
And
believe
they,
that,
well, they do in the 41A too.
well, I don't
But
see
we're
that.
not talking about 41A right now.
I know, but I'm just
Stay
saying.
clear of that, because you're right.
Yeah,
But I think you have to be a property owner.
You do.
And pay property taxes.
Yeah.
In order to get a refund on your property tax. So
Yeah.
that means you can't be a renter.
Right,
unless it was in a trust, it's not likely, but yeah.
No, even if it's in a trust, if you're a renter,
You're renting the home from that trust.
yeah.
right,
That's what
the
you
trust
do.
pays the taxes.
Yeah. Where does that go? How does that get split? Who
The
gets?
trust pays the taxes.
Yeah, okay, so you're there for 15 years, right? As a 1 or 10% trust owner. Does that mean they get it still?
I'm not sure what you're saying. So,
Okay. If I got a family trust, right? And there's 5 members in my trust, the kids and stuff like that. Do I only get 1/5 of that? Because the rest of it is theoretically already given to them in that trust form.
I think it would
no,
depend.
if you're one of 5 people in the trust, then
And you
don't
live
have,
there,
you don't have a 50% stake in the.
that's right, so you have to have at least 50%.
Right.
That wasn't, I
That
don't.
Oh, it
applies
is.
for the
Is it?
41A,
And the
but
means
Oh,
tested-
I don't
But the
know
means
that now.
tested-
And the
it
means
doesn't.
tested, we have to have 50% on the 41A, I
I,
know.
I haven't seen anything in in any documentation
No.
stating that for
And if you go less
the
than
means
that, you're-
tested.
You're all done.
I think that may be something that, as it comes up, we may have to address it. Maybe
Yeah.
we apply the same,
I was looking for answers, and maybe I thought that those folks might have had something, and they're saying, no, we're not there yet.
yeah. I haven't, like I said, I haven't seen that in
Okay, never
all
seen
the stuff that I've investigated. But
Wow, is that a third good question? All right.
most of the time, you have to be both the trustee and the beneficiary.
Well,
And I did have one exemption where there were 2 children, that it was like, 50/50, so.
50, so they made the 50 mark, but we just gotta say that, we just have to
Yeah,
clarify that,
yeah.
that's all.
I think it would just depend on, I'm sure we're gonna have situations that come up that we're gonna have questions like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
But
Okay.
we're moving along with that, and the next step is Tom's gonna actually make the brochure, and then he
See
liked,
what it looks like.
he liked the format of Westford, the application, so I'm gonna send him that application and our information that we came up
You
with.
made good copies and handed out, didn't you?
what kind of format can you get that in electronically? Sorry. It's rude for me to do that.
No,
I caught myself last time doing it a lot, so I'm
I
not.
should be able to, I'll call my friend Will, and he's great. I'm sure he
Right.
has it in a format,
That we can then
Yeah.
edit.
yeah,
Okay,
so.
so you guys are meeting one more time, or at least one more time?
Yeah, at least one more
I
time.
didn't hear us calling it off.
We didn't, I know Tom said he needs by the end of the month to finish
Oh,
the brochure.
so you won't be done for our next meeting, the 16th?
We probably won't be. Yeah. We
Okay.
want it till the end of the month.
I'm sure I have it on my calendar, but just in case. April 16th meeting, okay.
We hope so.
I hope so, God, please.
So that's
You
it for
come in
the,
when you're sick, you're the most committed person I know. You should be
Get
committed.
out of here. What would I be, homesick?
Yeah, well, that's true.
And then I get to do another one in about 3 weeks. It just never ends.
Okay,
Treasurer.
anything else on the means tested senior exemption?
That's it?
That's enough.
So we have some data.
Mm-hmm.
We know that we could, if we do it more than 117
Residents,
parcels,
yes.
that we will have to reduce the amount that people get, otherwise it's probably max right out.
Right.
And it wouldn't be a separate tax rate, it would be across the board, residential, commercial, industrial. So I know how you questioned that earlier. It would just be one tax rate, and it would be adjusted in the tax rate based on the
So
share.
we reduce the tax burden. You increase the tax burden on the remainder of the town by that 1%,
Exactly,
Right.
including all types,
yes,
commercial, industrial, residential.
personal property, yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Well, that's better,
yeah.
because I was concerned that we might have to have like 3 or 4 different.
I think that would be a
Tax rates.
a
Let
nightmare.
Alfred commit suicide in the office when he
Wow.
brought that up.
There was some pressure last time to think about, splitting out
Yeah.
commercial, and the benefit was negligible, and if it existed at all. So, and the risk was that you drive some businesses out of town, not,
Yeah.
we want to drive any businesses out of town.
We don't have enough
We need more.
businesses to
Right.
raise their rate, we just don't. But yeah, so I will see if I can find out more information from Kathy as to how many over 65 of that 28, I think it was 2,826 residents. If I can find out how many of them are homeowners or even income, I don't know if that's possible, but I'll see if I can find
We
out more.
need to know how many were jointly held.
Yeah,
So there's a lot of stuff, we have to dig into we have to do some data mining, as they say.
and Jack's gonna check with the Council on Aging to see
What
if
they do with that.
he can get some more information as well.
What they do have. And the number that I did have from the 2022 census kind of fits, but not really. But that's a different story.
Just to go back to the minutes,
Yep,
that executive session.
Yep.
You're going to be sending over PDF to Ellen?
yes,
Okay. Make
Yeah.
sure that who has the action items known, so
yep,
I don't forget to do it.
yeah. Yeah, we will do that. Okay.
Okay?
Okay, that's it for the senior means.
Deferral exemption. I had a conversation with town council
Yes.
and asked about the document that you sent over that I said, we'd like to know what you think.
Yeah, and I've modified it again, but it's okay, I haven't sent it
Well,
to
he's doing that, but okay. He didn't review it because he didn't get authority from Jen to review
Oh,
it.
we can do that. I'll tell you more
He
about
did not
it.
get authority from Jen
Right,
to review it.
right.
So, once we are in agreement, we can send something to Jen and say, have town council take a look at this.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Jen is approving, he won't look at stuff. If it hasn't been approved by the town manager.
And I thought that might have what happened, because it usually, you had to go right to you, so it's okay.
That was, yeah.
That's okay.
But, you have this package here, is this one different?
I've got a whole new set of
Oh,
stuff.
wait. So you sent something I wanted to edit, and you changed stuff, but I don't know
All
what that
sorts of
is.
stuff. Where's the one to edit?
Under the senior circuit breaker tax credit, it says designed to help seniors with property tax burdens. It's not, because you can either rent or own.
Yeah.
So it is just to
Okay.
reduce, what I would like to say, designed to help seniors reduce their tax
I
burden.
could write that down. And
I got it.
I don't even know what that is. Which one?
This
That
is-
came back, that's an early rev.
Well, either way, it's still on here. It's not,
Write it.
it's not a property tax burden. It's a tax burden. Because it's not a property tax burden, it's,
It's just an overall burden. I can take the property tax out, but where?
well, I was gonna say with their
Uh-huh.
tax burden, your burdens, you had burdens in there.
What do you have?
I don't know.
What's the
What
date
do you-
on
what do
it?
you-
What's the date on it?
April 1st.
Okay. How did you get that? Did you give him a copy of this?
That's, I just handed it to him.
Oh, you just handed it to
Yeah,
him?
because you asked me to make copies.
No, you handed it to me here. I printed off today, you sent it over.
I said, oh, okay, yes, thank you. Whereabouts, where is it sitting? I'm sorry. Because I'm looking at things that are backwards here too.
First
Okay.
page where it says Massachusetts Senior Circuit Tax.
The state is designed to help seniors with property tax burden.
It's not property tax, it's just tax burden.
Okay.
The circuit breaker
You're
is
absolutely right.
income
You're
tax
absolutely
only.
right.
but-
Yeah, or tax burdens, okay,
So take that one and
yeah, thank you,
fix it, please.
yeah,
On the second page, key documents,
yeah,
somewhere in here, I think we probably should say something about the 10-year, 5-year thing. It doesn't really show up on here, so unless you were to drill down into the application itself.
10-year, 5-year,
You know,
or 5-year.
you have to be a
Resident.
resident for
resident?
10 years.
41 says 5.
It says it says 10 and it says 5. It says in two different
Okay,
sets of language.
yeah,
And I think one of them is a resident of Massachusetts, the other one's a resident of the specific house that you're talking about.
oh, okay.
So it's 10 and 5. I think it should be there somewhere. I
Okay,
just don't know
get
where to
that.
put it, honestly, because it's on the application that you reference here,
Yeah,
but it's not really on this page, and I would.
right, these are just the key documents that you have to submit. That's
I know,
all.
I know.
Okay.
And it was-
But
So,
that's a
and,
good- that's a
and I don't
good
know if
point.
it should be here, or, I know it's somewhere else, it
Yeah.
needs to be somewhere else, but I think it needs to be on.
Means tested
up
says
front.
15, by the way.
Yeah, it does,
Yeah.
yeah, 15
That's
years.
gonna really mess it with it.
On, required item number 4.
I just wanna get, note. Reference 5.
And I don't know where.
Okay, I will.
It might not go on this page.
Oh,
And if your
this-
answer is, don't put it on this page, that's an okay
No,
answer.
I'm
We've
not
got
gonna put it on the
somewhere.
page, but I don't know if I've got the other stuff. So, yeah, these are just the proper lists of the various documents that
That's fine.
are key to us.
So item number 3,
Page 3?
item number 3 on your
Oh,
required
okay.
list, it says Commonwealth, it should be one word.
Oh, okay.
Item number 4,
Uh-huh.
it says 1 acre only.
That's correct.
What does that mean?
Okay. The 41A references the circuit breaker. The circuit breaker can only accept a valuation on 1 acre. So therefore, you can only, when you apply, you have to take your property card and have it bought. That's what I was talking to you about. They're gonna come in and say, I've got 3 acres. You had a fella came in that was all upset with you because they changed the law. So we have to somehow figure out a way to modify the property card to reflect the valuation for 1 acre.
Nope.
I don't, we, I don't.
Nope.
Or come up with a supplemental document that sits on top of that.
What I think you just said is the 41A law,
Yeah?
which is the state law,
Uh-huh.
says 1 acre.
1 acre.
We can't get to a 1 acre valuation.
That, let me go back and explore. Let me go back and talk to Becky.
That's why I circled this and said, I don't understand what to do with this,
Yeah.
because I was hoping it was a typo and it was 1 year or
No,
some other darn
No,
thing.
it's 1 acre.
So let's check, okay, item number
Okay.
6.
Applicant mortgage and statement for verification. Basically, we
What?
we ask them.
What?
That number 6,
Applicant mortgage statement for verification of loan
ratio.
ratio.
RATIO, okay?
There you go.
I'm getting there.
So, and that's for the property tax one.
Yeah.
Jack, this is really good work.
Okay.
I'm
I'm
quite
looking,
thrilled
this
with
doesn't
it.
bother me.
I'm quite thrilled with it. I wanna make sure that we don't have
Okay.
typos all over. On the senior circuit breaker,
Okay, that's page 3.
it's your page 3.
Yes,
It starts with number 6.
right.
Whoa.
Why did I do that? Oh, thank you. Okay, because I have each document numbered separately too, so I don't, oh, you know why? Because I moved them around. Okay, so that's 6, 7, 8, that becomes 9, 10, and 11. Okay,
Well, since these are senior circuit breaker, they should be senior circuit breaker
Yeah,
CB1, CB2, CB3. And that way you'll know which ones they are. I'm just
Yeah, the
throwing that
mass
out,
schedule.
just throwing that out there as a possibility.
Yeah, one's a guide, the other one is the actual
Sure.
application. And then
But
the,
these are all circuit breaker related, so I would say, if you go back to this one and do
and that's property control.
Def 1, Def 2, Def,
Oh, I see what you're
Def,
saying.
DEFCON 9,
Yeah, make up Cs to help differentiate from diversity.
something,
Okay, yeah,
C,
I like that.
C for
Make it
what?
C, as a circuit breaker,
Oh, CB,
CB.
or C, I don't care, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Just some way to differentiate it
I do like that.
and do the
I like
numbering
that.
separately, so that way you can
Go
take this page.
PD, and then I'll make it PD and CD,
I
okay.
think that's fabulous.
Okay.
Um,
CB,
Resident may also amend mass, at the bottom of that one, submission back 2 years for,
which one?
it's not, since we want this document to last more than, I guess we're gonna do them every year?
We have to do it
Yeah.
every year?
they have to apply.
No, we're gonna have to do our form every year,
Yeah,
this
Yeah.
document. Or we could do current year on some of these.
This is actually the resident, were you talking number 7?
Well, I'm just talking about,
Yeah, the application.
I would like
actually,
to try to make this as timeless as
The
possible.
application does say 2024.
So we'll do a whole new application next year?
Yeah,
we'll have to modify
yeah,
it,
they'll
yeah,
do
the
it,
years.
no, it'll be.
But you know how we do it with the
2025.
other ones, we leave the year off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we may wanna do that.
Okay, and I'll show you that I have the other stuff.
No, but I'm just trying to, is there some way that we can make these more timeless by taking the year off?
I don't know, and I don't know if they changed the format.
It's fine, it's just, investigate that for me, please, because I'd really like to not have to say 22 and 23 here.
Yeah,
I'd like to say, year -1, year -2, or something.
We do send out the applications in the fall, so we typically do put all that, just
Yeah.
the year
But
one.
you have to remember to modify it every year, so.
We do, yeah, on the
the state does.
DLS
every year.
website, they're all blank, the year's blank.
Right.
Okay, let's see.
Did you hear what she said, Jack?
On the DLS website, the forms are all blank, they put the year.
They put it on there. Oh, do we?
Well,
They
it's-
leave the
Oh, we
year
do.
off. We
It's left up, we can edit it, put it on
Oh,
the
okay.
form.
Doesn't want to see what the form,
Thank you.
did say. Okay, the form's coming up at the other hard package.
So, I'm up to page 5 on this document.
4 was okay.
4 was great, 5 was actually really good. The only thing I had a problem with was the note at the bottom, total income cannot exceed 72,000 for a single who's not head of household, but you didn't list the head of household or filing
They,
joint lease.
they cap out at 72.
No,
It's- I believe they do, and that if you, I'll check that, but you can keep going, but they limit to 72,000. The circuit breaker limits to 72.
I don't think so, because,
You got married and, married is 109, I think.
Yeah, that's, there's your personal income tax and your circuit breaker are 2 different numbers. Like 2003.
somewhere in here,
Okay.
Oh, there,
right here,
yeah.
senior circuit breaker, 72,000, 91,000,
Right, right,
109,000.
right.
So
And
that
then if you
needs to
go to
be,
the guide-
so that needs, well,
If you go to the guide, they come back and say, all you could do is go up. In fact, you pointed that out to me early on.
the guide says 20,000, so.
I will check that, I will bring that
I
back.
printed off a copy of the guide.
You got it,
Let me-
okay.
let me see if I can-
I did speak with Izzy tonight about, there is an account already set up
You
for
said
the
you have a
referrals.
revolving account.
There's
Yes.
already an account set up, and he did point out an earlier guide, I think it was 2016, the IGR,
Yeah,
and it doesn't mention anything about the lien holder if they have a mortgage. And Izzy said that the they don't really care about that, the town just has to be first in line as a lien holder.
right, I asked for the forged copy of the mortgage statement to confirm that we in fact were.
The law says they have to sign off on it first.
Yes, they
The
should.
other thing, yeah.
So
But the-
what?
But the municipality doesn't care about, like Izzy had said, the town doesn't care about that, because regardless, they're not gonna subordinate. They're gonna be the first in line as a lien
The
holder.
law requires though that we can't go over 50%. We're asking for a copy of their mortgage statement to prove that they are actually under 50% of the full valuation. That's why.
For the amount that they owe us.
Yes.
That's fine. And that's right. I got that. I just think that if this page says 72,000,
Yes,
and it's really 7291 and 109, we need to put 7291
okay. And
and 109.
That's where it is from.
So,
Okay, I will go dig that.
no need to answer it right now. Just
No,
go
no,
back and
I'm
fix
not
it.
gonna do it, I'm
Figure
gonna
it
check
out.
though. Confirm, but that is right, and I 90% check it, but I will bring some data. Oh, should we check this?
So, page 6,
The number, even though they give you out the single married and married head of household, the number that they said could not exceed the single individual. But I will go and get that confirmed, that I'm not nuts. But
I
can't
didn't
confirm
understand
that.
what you said, but that's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
Go back and confirm.
I'm sorry.
I heard the words, I just didn't understand what the thought was. So I'm okay with that. Just go back and check it. I'm happy to.
Okay, I will.
Page
check.
6.
Page 6, I'm gonna check this. Okay. Page 6.
On the then grouping,
Which line here?
then grouping, the then arrow,
Of this arrow?
your
No,
then arrow.
Where it says
Then.
then, see where it says then on the left side? Then, the next, second paragraph.
Keep going
Oh,
down,
then.
right there.
If.
The second
then.
grouping,
Okay. What's the matter with if and then?
nothing.
Oh, okay.
Your first item. Your
Okay,
current annual property value, 5744, tax will be deferred.
Yeah,
That's 478 per month, and would increases to 745. It wasn't, number one, clear what you were referring to.
okay.
Over, do you mean over time?
Overtime
Oh, and it's not increases, it would increase.
would increase. Okay.
And increase over what period?
We basically said that we were gonna, or that it was a
15 years.
15 years.
So say that. Otherwise,
Okay.
it's not a clear statement.
Okay.
Please.
Yeah, no, that's all right.
Annual appreciation of your house.
Right, yeah, 15 years, that's the end of the table.
Yeah,
That's 15
I,
years, okay. I'll follow that.
I looked at the table too.
Okay,
I knew thought that's where it came from, but, the third bullet,
yeah.
the annual appreciation of your house will far exceed, I don't think you need the far, it will exceed.
Let's see, okay.
Only because it might not for somebody.
I don't
You
know.
can't guarantee it, because it's a forecast.
Uh-huh.
So just exceed,
Okay,
when you go to sell your house for 400K current value, you can sell it for 720, 37 something. Pick a
Yeah.
number.
Good
Just
number.
put another number in there.
737, okay.
Put a number there.
I did.
It's gotta be 6 digits long. I don't care what that number is. Honestly, I don't really care what the number is. It's probably in your.
It is, 720, 37, 70, okay. Okay,
And it says after paying the town back in 145, that 145, 149. That's the cumulative,
deferred property tax and interest.
if you would just say, instead of the word for, just say the word cumulative, and I'm a
Okay.
happy camper.
Okay, cumulative, I like that.
That way people know, oh, that's what they're talking about, otherwise for. And at the very bottom, it says spreadsheet, see details, next slide, number 18. Well, it's not
Well,
9
it's
to
not
18.
9:18 anymore, okay,
It's 7, I
7, I
think.
cut it back, oh, but you're right, you absolutely see that.
Well, just,
Okay, number.
if you just take the number out or put in number 7, I don't care
Number
which,
7,
I don't care
page
which.
7, I'll say page
And
7.
now I know where to go next to for the
Okay,
data,
perfect.
which is on page 7.
Yeah.
Page 8. The first plus sign says town will hold the property liens. It should be lien, I think,
Mhm.
because we don't really create a new
You're putting a
lien.
lien on every year. It's not,
We don't create a new lien, it's
We
part
hold
of
a
the
lien.
entire lien. I don't know,
I thought.
I was iffy about liens.
Okay, but yeah, I was coming from the perspective that each year we would drop another lien on top of it.
But
And
you,
each of them had their own value in terms of how much they borrowed.
but it's a
So they-
cumulative borrow, right?
If
I'm not
we-
sure, I don't know
We,
if we do it, I don't know if we do a little new lien every year.
I
I'm
would.
not sure
We
how that
have to,
works.
we have to, because it's gonna be a new.
No, we have to do a new
Yeah.
application every year.
A new
I have no
application,
problem
but
with
a lien every year
that.
though, but,
But their lien, I think, just builds up in one account.
yeah.
I like the word cumulative, by the way, in front of that. We'll hold the,
Sure.
cumulative
But I don't
property
think we
liens.
issue a new lien every year
You
to
will.
overwrite the
Well,
old lien.
I don't,
Yeah.
I'm
it
not
doesn't
sure,
overwrite
I don't
it,
know.
but I think it goes,
It has to go in as a
We're-
separate record. Yeah,
we're-
every year it has to be recorded.
so, but where that money is not held, because it's a lien.
Yeah.
Where that lien is held, it's just part of one overall lien, I think.
Yeah.
Even if it's 15 years, it's 15 years of lien.
It'll be residents, I don't know how he's gonna set up this. fund,
So-
It's already
revolving
set up.
fund. He's
He already
got,
has an
he's
account.
set up, because I just got a note from Jen, well, yesterday, that said he was working on it, he was gonna try and come back. Did they tell you that today?
Izzy told me tonight that there's already an account that's been set up
Really?
for the
My
board.
guess is there was an account that we didn't use.
Use, that'd be.
And they went, oh,
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
That answers that,
so.
that question.
He did tell me though that if the application is not complete by April 1st, that we can't honor it,
That's not correct.
according to
Okay, I
that
can give you the, I
IGR.
can,
That's what he said.
okay.
Uh,
I spoke with Becky this afternoon, because I did find another statement, and I said, does this apply? And that basically you had to have it by a certain date, and whatever. And she goes, this doesn't necessarily apply to this, but let me tell you, if it's, you're dealing with the banks, don't worry about it, just hurry up. She says, just hurry up, just hurry up, just hurry up. The bank portion of, you have to have everything, you can't throw it away, we know that. But in that particular section, the date, and I'm assuming that, you know, we talked about the end of May, and I think you can go a little later, but let's target the end of May, we would have it all lined up. But that's what Becky again told me today, so, and I can understand how we could read that in. But it's like a lot of other things, the DOR will sometimes say, I know you want, we asked for the tax returns, but if they come about proving it some other way, then we're okay with that too. So right now, we're going down the path of creating this preliminary agreement. Now, we'll get to that part. That's the part that said, Adam, and again, I modified some more. Because here you generate something, and you look at it, oh, I need some more of that, I need some more of that. And I initially sent that over to Adam to get a conversation. Adam, what have we got and stuff? I also wasn't particularly surprised that he'd respond to me, and just assuming, okay, we've got this something in the court, let's keep that moving. But yes, we'll talk to, oh, I can't even say half
Izzy.
the words, Izzy.
Izzy, yeah.
And tell, do you have any questions?
We-
Go back.
We stamped it, dated it, and accepted it. So,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, yeah. That's the way I look at it. And the other point, what I wrote to you guys is, hey folks, we're not getting anybody from the state or federal, we're not violating. This is how the town is handling, taking care of this particular aspect. It's well within our domain. Yes, we want to be playing real nice with DOR, and Becky's playing nice back. And that's the way we want to be, I think. But in either case, we're good. And as long as
We have an application in front of us that
Right.
we can talk about in some
Well,
detail
I'm
later
hoping
on
tonight,
in open session.
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, in executive session. We can't really talk about, we can talk about the process, which is generally you want to have a completed application when you accept
Exactly.
it. But we accepted this one knowing that there was some things that needed filling out or fleshing out.
yes. And that was another reason for the checklist. The
So-
checklist of 2 different versions. And
You're not pulling on anything that's
oh, here we go.
site specific, right?
So, yeah, this is, we're not showing it, but essentially,
Okay.
This is where we are, and that's all the pieces. We're locked and loaded.
We'll talk
with
about that
exception-
later. We'll
Yes,
talk about that later.
yeah, but we're good.
So, I think we're in pretty good shape on that one. Organizational metrics, do you wanna skip
I know
that for
that's
a moment?
something, yeah.
Did you pull something together?
Well, I did,
Oh.
but I haven't had a chance. You and I have added a few more since then. You and I have not had a chance to get into it. And,
Do you wanna defer it till the 16th?
well, let me just have a thought on it first, is that as we define all these things that are going on, we really want to understand, how are we doing? Because some of the stuff we aren't doing. And some of the things we're doing good or whatever, and that'll give us a sense of what is the load that we are having to carry, and what are we actually be able to carry, and what is falling behind. And if we're actually doing really good, well, yeah, maybe you could slide something else out of that group and put that extra burden on that group. But right now, from what I saw, and in my pieces, we've still got a long ways to go.
We do.
We need a lot of help, Brian. And to come back and ask one of our members to do data entry for billings and stuff, just adding and complimenting not complimenting, I can't say the word, but either case, it's making it a lot tougher. And we've learned one brutal lesson to the tune of 1.4 million or so. We can't let it fall behind. This is your sales if it's to those people out there saying, this is your sales organization. You can't let them fall in. You can't let them drop leads. You can't they have to do the things to keep this machine moving. And that's the last place you want to cut back. So, and this tool will give us that ability to present some sort of a detail and some sort of numerical, measurable argument that says, we need more. Because remember, the last group that came into the assessment group said, MFS said, you need 4 people in there all the time. And you're gonna be really busy if you're doing it. So right now, what are we doing on that the 5-year piece?
We have, we have a 32-hour
Yeah.
admin.
Yeah.
I'm 40 and Robin's 19.
Yeah,
So
there's
and
so
we're
many
busy.
things.
We're very
And that's
busy.
what's gonna come out of that, and that's also gonna be something we're gonna be able to measure as a board. What is the performance of this group? Because that's where we're not trying to oversee you in the regard. We want to make sure that we're on top of everything. And, if some of that stuff gets pushed off into other groups or whatever, we lose the ability to see it. So that's why that particular document is gonna be really critical to the success and the proper loading for the group, the best return on the investment for them.
How are you going to determine it? You're going to take it based on abatements, motor vehicle abatements
Oh, I've got
every
all sorts
month,
of-
or?
I have all sorts of stuff here if you want to spend time, but if we could do that.
I just was curious how.
Okay, yes, let me see. Okay, hold on. Let's see, we're off. I jumped off of myself. Okay, let's put that on hold till I spot
Okay,
it.
all right,
Well, we'll have a more extensive
yeah,
Yes,
conversation next
Yes.
meeting
let's do that.
on that.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't want to give it short shrift.
exactly. If we're gonna be able to defend this,
So,
we gotta do it. Right, I totally agree.
Cyclical inspection program, you want to give us an update?
Yep, we're on our second week of the cyclical inspections. I've been providing an update to Kara, who's been putting on the website, as to the streets that Josh will be on for the
Uh-huh.
week, so that people have an update. We've created a list of residents, if they call, they don't want an interior inspection, or they don't want anybody on their property.
Yeah,
We have the name and the street, and we're giving them to Josh so that he doesn't go
Doesn't
to the
work
property.
over.
And we're trying to pull the card out so that there's
Yeah.
no
and
misunderstanding.
these people understand that by not allowing us in, they lose all rights to ATV.
Well,
No.
we have to
No.
we make an assumption. I mean, this is the thing, is we verify the data.
Yeah.
The purpose of the cyclical is to take the record card, verify the data, and make sure
Yeah.
it's correct. So it's not for the purpose of anything else other than that. We have to do this every 10 years for the
If
Department of
someone
Revenue.
refuses to allow us to go in,
It's
I
their
was under
right.
the impression it was a default where
No,
they, after the second request or something, that they then lost their ability to go.
that's if they filed for an abatement.
Yeah.
That's if they file for the
If
abatement.
they did not file for an abatement, they have a right to tell us to stay out of their house.
Yeah,
We have a right to make assumptions about what's there.
oh, exactly right.
So,
On the
so
inside.
we may be overly exuberant about how great their
That's-
kitchen is.
that's correct.
But that's
Yeah.
just, the way it goes.
And that's, but I think that it's fair to want to tell them.
And I don't want us to do that. I'm just
No.
saying, that's the risk that they run, that we may
Right, They need
overestimate
to
what they
file
have.
the
Yeah.
abatement.
So the risk that they run is we overestimate, then they have to file for an abatement, then we have to get to go in there anyway. There are still a lot of people who don't want to have any
Right.
Yeah.
government officials in their
And if
house.
someone hasn't pulled a permit in 20 or 30 years, I would think that perhaps there's something may have occurred that warrants a visit.
Again, we
Yeah.
And
can't
we can
force
make
our
an
way,
assumption, you've got a new bathroom, you've got a new
we
kitchen.
can't force our way into
No.
any of that.
Yeah.
Just
And we do have other tools. I
wouldn't
mean,
want us to.
if there's a permit on file, we check permits,
Mhm.
we check MLS.
Yeah.
MLS has
Oh, that
photos.
is a wonderful tool.
So
We used to use
if
that.
they don't let us in and it's a recent sale, we can go by MLS and that gives us
Yeah.
information. But we want to make sure that the date is right because we tell everyone when they get their tax bill the first of the year, please check your property record card because we have
And
found.
don't forget Zillow, by the way,
I
Zillow was great too.
Printed off a property record card for a friend of mine just this week. And he went, "Oh, this is great. I really love reviewing all this stuff." He said, "Why didn't you review it when you got your tax bill?"
Yeah, yeah.
He was, "Oh,
Yeah,
I probably could have done that." And I was like, "You probably could have.
yeah.
You definitely could have."
Yeah.
So,
It's important because we were at a commercial property today and there was an extra building on the card. And if we don't,
we didn't know there was a bill.
we didn't know there was a building until we went out and inspected it, so.
And then there wasn't.
And then, now there is, and we corrected it. But that's.
So we'll be able to give them some money back, but
Yeah,
There we go.
it's important. It's really just for the
we
purpose.
didn't talk about any specific address. It was just
Yeah.
that it was a
Right.
commercial site
Yeah,
Yeah.
with
But-
multiple buildings. I guess they've already zeroed down to about,
yeah.
anyway.
Okay.
But I mean,
So honestly, we've had one or two where people have said, "Please don't come to our house," but there's a card on their door. We don't know why the card's on the door because they weren't supposed to go to the house.
yeah.
Oh.
I got a call tonight and, we're trying to make sure that goes on. So I don't know if the card somehow didn't get pulled, but we are, doing our best to update the vision inspector and make sure he doesn't have the
There
card.
isn't quite a buzz about this.
As soon as we get a notice, as soon as she gets a notice from somebody that doesn't want to have either interior inspection or doesn't want them on the property at all, then that goes on the list.
Right,
Yeah.
and I bet you there's a correlation to when you announce what streets you're gonna go visit.
Oh, probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
and this is the thing is where he might have had the card before, if he had the card before he goes out, that's the thing, is that I guess that's maybe the timing too, but,
If he gets the card in the morning and we get a call in the middle of the day.
yeah, we try to reach him by text, so that could happen too. It's, but he's, if somebody doesn't want him on the property, he's very respectful. He does inspect the exterior and leave the card, it's a yellow card so that they know that, the resident knows that he was there. And then we're getting calls, we're getting calls for some inspections too, so Denise and I will be doing the callbacks.
Uh-huh.
So we make the notification on the website, we send out the postcards, blue postcard ahead of time, and then when Josh goes out and he's at the property, he leaves a yellow postcard. So we're giving the public notification, advance notice that we're there, and then when we're there, we're leaving the postcard. And we're getting callbacks from
The hanger.
postcard.
And that-
Door hanger,
And that's
Door hanger.
consistent behavior among towns. I know that the town of Air does that.
This is not unusual.
No.
And it's not unusual to get some people going, "Don't come to my
Yeah.
house,
Oh,
you
yeah.
darn government
Yeah.
person."
Yeah, yeah.
in addition to the letter, I actually posted 2 letters. The first letter that was posted was Vision's standard letter that all towns use.
Uh-huh.
So because of the reaction that we got, I put a lot of detail in the letter and reposted the new letter so that there wouldn't be any misunderstanding.
Right.
But
Oh,
We have
so-
500 to do by the end of
June,
June.
yeah. He thinks
It's a
he's gonna get
lot.
100 done this week.
It's a lot.
You're gonna get 100 done
He
this
thinks
week? Oh, he
that
thinks he
we-
can.
Yeah. He was,
It's a lot.
it is a lot.
It's 166.
That's 20 a day?
It's 166 a month.
Yeah, but one person, I mean, it depends, if you're just checking the outside and not getting into houses, maybe you can do it, but.
Yeah. Hey, just a quick aside, Ryan. If this is, I have an extra copy, we kind of talked about this as a relationship to the preliminary approval process. And I don't, that's the process. That,
You're talking about a process, or you're talking about a specific applicant?
this is made out for the specific applicant.
Well, we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about that later, but I just want to let you know that in relationship to Adam, I want to know what you want to do next, that's all. But we'll talk about that.
We have to come to an agreement, and then we'll have to send something
Yes,
through the town manager to see if we can get a review.
if we're ready to do that.
Anything else on the cyclical inspections? I think it's gonna be difficult to make the 500 by June.
We're doing a lot.
Is that DOR mandated?
No.
You gotta you gotta do
the
every
total.
property in 10
Oh,
years.
yeah,
10.
yeah.
We got
Yes.
55, or 5,200 parcels in town. Guess what? We're already gonna do some of them because we have other inspections that have to have occurred.
Oh, on top of that, yes.
So some of those will already have taken place, so we still gotta do, 500 in total.
Yeah.
We could probably make the 500 total if we add in all the other inspections, but it's gonna be tight.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tight.
Well, they claim it's no problem, but in,
How
Denise and I
many?
are
Are
doing
there 2 or 3 people?
just one,
Just one person?
but
They're
our,
going, visiting the property and measuring out all the foundations, going in and looking at that.
supposed to be, yeah.
When they can.
If you
Yeah.
get 10 a day, that's probably doing pretty good.
That'd be 50 a week,
Yeah? 10 weeks,
times a month.
yeah, 4 a month, 4 weeks a month.
How much you get to?
4 times 10 is 400. No, 400, oh, I'm sorry. Okay, you get basically 10 a day,
Yeah.
as he's working 7 days. So he's
Yeah.
getting 70 a
Well, he's
week.
doing
Not working
5
7
days.
He's doing 5 days.
5 days, okay, so you're doing 5 days. You're not working 7 days a week?
No,
Oh, God, okay, so you're doing 5 times 10 is 50,
yeah.
right? And then times 4 is the month.
200.
That's 200.
Uh-huh.
How many months you got left?
We got less than 3.
That's, well, 600 is doable, I guess.
It's just tight.
And he's
And
got
so,
paper- he has to-
by the way, there's a holiday or 2 or 3 in there.
Yeah, and then there's the paperwork that has to go along with it, gets submitted, and
There's
updated. every
rainy
day.
days when you're not really doing any inspection.
Wow.
What's happening is they're bringing, once he goes out and makes his first pass, well, he's only making one pass.
Yeah,
We're gonna be doing
Follow
the callbacks when we
Okay.
get the calls. We still are gonna send out the postcards.
yeah.
We will be getting a credit
And
for
he's
the
gonna have to go
mailing.
back more than once, or a couple of them for sure.
No, we
He's
won't.
not going back.
We'll be
You will-
going back
You'll go back?
on the callbacks and making the inspections.
Uh,
So it's been a lot more work for our office because we
Yeah.
weren't anticipating doing the mailing. But the mailing was initially supposed to be done at the end of when the inspector finished up, which wasn't what was
Their
indicated.
notification,
Yeah,
their notification process was to send a note after they were there.
not before.
That's
only-
not a notification.
No,
No
that's
matter
not.
how you call it, it's not a notification.
It's
Yeah.
not like something's out of the barn and you're closed
Yeah,
down.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I don't know why, that's how they do it.
Yeah.
I don't think that's preferable. I think people need to receive a letter or a postcard or
And
something.
we have them for 3 years.
This part of
But that's it. I'll give you an update next meeting.
Okay. Cool. Clause 41D, 17 E and F-ish.
it. Yeah.
Adam revised what we had sent him a little bit.
Okay,
He said, I think this passes muster.
okay.
He said, I'm not sure this is gonna do what you want it to do, because we may get pushback from the DOR that we are resetting the baseline. And we could get pushback from the Attorney General's office that we're resetting the baseline. He has said
Uh-huh.
there may be some other way to do this, but I don't know what it is.
Okay,
I've not found he's not found anything that says we can do what we can do, what we're trying to do. He's not found anything that says we can't.
yeah,
He was offering to contact the DOR to find out if there's some other methodology that we could use that would be better. But if we do that, then we raise,
lose the window you got, it's closing
we
quickly.
lose the window for this year, and we also raise their,
Antenna?
to be looking for something that's out of the ordinary.
Yeah, right,
That's not, we're trying to hide anything, it's just what we're trying to accomplish.
right,
Nobody has tried to do before, apparently.
there you go. Well,
So I said, hold off on reaching out to anybody until we've had a chance to do, because I don't know what's better. If we reach out first and say, is there a better way for us to do this? Then maybe we can get it done,
yeah,
but maybe not. We might get a no anyway,
yeah.
but if we're gonna get a no anyway, we might as well go through the process and see if we can get it.
Yeah, I would suggest, I mean, I'm not detailist, but I found that Becky is very,
Oh, she wouldn't be able to answer this one.
she may not, but if you pose the question to her, say, can I try it this way? She might give you an answer that says, yeah, go ahead, try it, or maybe, or let me go talk to somebody, or I'll turn the cameras off, but
Oh, no, this is open meeting discussion.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not- I'm no problem
What
with
I'm
that.
saying is that maybe it just gets lost. In other words, it's not enough of a big deal for them to get all bothered about.
Well,
Does this involve,
honestly, if I were, I'm sorry, finish what you were saying.
I'm just thinking that we do, as Board of Assessors, have some input rights that go along with it. As long as we're not taking any money from the state or whatever, we have more rights. But as we start to take more money away from the state, or they have a bigger say.
This-
Okay, so the question is, how big an impact is this going to be on the town, or is it going to open up any
It
big
doesn't
doors?
open, it is no impact on the state.
Right?
It doesn't change our reimbursement whatsoever.
That's good.
So that's not an issue. The issue
Mhm.
really is, when we made these changes, we had two prior applicants who dropped off the list, because they no longer fulfilled the requirements.
There weren't that many,
Two,
yeah.
it was two.
Yeah.
And I think one of them dropped from a 41 to a 17 or something.
Yeah,
So one dropped off the list altogether, one dropped down to a 17. We're trying to just get them back to be whole.
Yeah.
Call it be whole. The impact on the town is almost negligible, because
Well, that's what you presented to the town, that's a good
it's
thing.
a couple $1,000s spread out of over 5,000 parcels. I'm not sure
Yeah.
it means much. to
we're not
any-
protected if we vote, if it's voted in, because towns double the exemption amounts and they change.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So if we're,
I don't think that the
Yeah.
state would have a problem with what we're trying to do.
yeah, as long as it's.
I don't- We do run the risk that they might. Honestly, my take is, just my personal take. I think the Department of Revenue would say, oh, good.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good effort on your
Good,
part.
main effort to do,
I
yeah.
don't know what the Attorney General's office might say,
Yeah.
but we aren't reaching out to them at the moment.
I would, yeah.
More
Don't
because
start-
we dropped
don't
it?
start-
No, well, no, because when you adopt it, you go back to the starting point.
Yeah,
And we're just trying to make it as,
Okay, you know what, if we go ahead and say we're gonna do this, Let them come back and tell us we're not like, you know, tell us.
Well, that's,
I think you just decide you go do the right thing for the person, and you're not hurting the town, you're not hurting anybody else. And just go do it. I mean, I
I
know.
believe that the consensus amongst the board members is to let them go the way they are and see what happens.
Yeah,
Fine with it. I'm happy with that.
yeah.
Honestly, we can take a vote if you want.
Take a vote. I don't care. The thing is, yes, that's the right thing to do. Right thing to do for those particular people. It has no financial impact on the state. It has very, very minor impact on the town. And these people, if we'd only helped them earlier on maybe, or figured it out, they wouldn't have got trapped like this. So we're just doing the right thing. Right? They're gonna go, they're not gonna, and by by the way, this is such a small
I
issue.
think I heard a motion.
Yes.
I did.
I moved.
I'll second.
Yeah.
We're just gonna, as amended by, and you haven't read them yet because I haven't forwarded them yet because I didn't.
I
just got
amended according to what you just read.
But what I just got from Jen, from Adam via Jen,
Uh-huh.
we're gonna submit
Oh,
that.
I saw that. I thought I saw that. I just, maybe an hour or two ago.
I don't think she sent it to everybody.
I haven't checked my email because we were in that meeting, so I haven't.
I don't think
Maybe
you got
maybe
it.
I'm wrong, maybe I'm wrong.
I don't
I was
think you
just
got it.
running out the door of trouble quick.
But anyway, so we're gonna go with as amended by town council.
Yes.
I'll send a copy over tonight, or tomorrow. I just don't want to do it tonight.
No.
Thank you.
Okay.
DOR directors, we have more than one.
Yeah, we have chapter land.
That's something you're working on now.
We are working on chapter land.
Okay,
Robin is still in the process of making sure that we have all liens, for chapter land properties that should have liens.
yep.
So she's organized all the files, gone back and checked that, so that's ongoing, she's still working on that.
Okay.
And there's so much involved with the chapter land. We have a lot of chapter land property, so,
We had several other directors, most of them were fairly minor.
yeah, the neighborhood is a big one.
The name was the big one.
So,
Okay. Okay. Anything else we needed to cover during open meeting?
I have a lot for executive session.
Aware of, I don't think there's anything else there. We'll talk about that. I'm happy to go to executive session because most of the other stuff is.
Open it up for public comment. I don't see any public still.
Did we ever have any?
No, I only saw one up there and it was us.
Oh.
Any other closing comments from the board?
Well, I have a great time, but I gotta get to you next week to go over and figure out the KPIs, as our town manager likes to call them. And that's going good, and I will be finishing off, once I get a couple of other pieces in terms of how this revolving account's gotta go, and you just have to fit there. You'll see the written procedure, you start seeing pieces of it, and that should be done, and maybe by next week, who knows? But yeah, we have to get that bank document such that they're in a comfortable state.
And we're talking about individual ones, so we'll talk about that during
Yeah.
closed session.
Yeah, but I don't think it's gonna be unique, I think you're gonna see a lot of it.
I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Let me read it, because I know you don't want, and you don't have to very well.
And I'm here.
I move that we adjourn to open meeting and enter executive session, not to return to open session after exiting the executive session. Motion to enter executive session under purpose 7, to comply with or act under the authority of any general or special law or federal grant in aid requirements. The executive session applications for abatements or exemption under this chapter shall, except in proceedings before the county commissioners, the appellate tax board, or a court of the Commonwealth, be open only to the inspection of the assessors, the commissioner, the deputies, clerks, and assistants of either the assessors or the commissioner, and such other officials or designated private auditors of the Commonwealth under Chapter 59, Section 60 of Mass General Law, which is being cited. So I moved.
Second?
All in favor? Aye. We are adjourned. We may close off.